They say you should never count the stairs after dark. Not in your house. Not in your friend's house. Not anywhere. Because if you do, you might not like the number you end up with. Sounds dumb, right? Like some random sleepover dare kids make up to freak each other out. But here's the creepy part. In houses all across America, people swear it's real. Families move into old homes. Nothing weird during the day. But when night falls, the staircase changes. Sometimes it's missing a step. Sometimes it has one too many. And when the number's wrong, something bad always follows. That's what happened to Ethan. He wasn't a superstitious guy. 17, sarcastic, into video games and football. The kind of kid who laughed at ghost stories. When his parents moved into a quiet, 2-story house just outside a small town, he rolled his eyes. Old house. Big deal, he said. Small town life didn't impress him either. The whole place looked like it belonged on a postcard. One diner, one grocery store. Folks waving like they already knew your name. Nothing scary about it. The house had charm, though. A wraparound porch, old wallpaper with faded roses, and a staircase that creaked but held steady. 13 steps exactly. Ethan knew because he tripped on the 7th one the first night, spilling a soda all over himself. He cursed, counted out the steps, and laughed. 13. Easy. Done. But nights in that house, they felt wrong. The air around the staircase was always colder than the rest of the place. The kind of cold that prickles your skin even when the heat's blasting. Sometimes, lying awake, Ethan swore he heard creaks on the stairs, slow and steady, like someone climbing. But every time he peeked his head out, nothing. Empty hallway. Silent house. Shadows, though. The shadows didn't line up. He'd see one stretch too far up the wall, like something tall and thin was standing right behind him. The first false scare came a week in. Ethan's parents went to bed early, and he was downstairs playing Xbox. Around midnight, he heard footsteps creaking down the staircase. His mom? Maybe his dad getting a midnight snack? He looked up and froze. A figure stood halfway down the stairs. Not clear, not detailed, just a tall, dark outline. His heart slammed in his chest. "Dad?" he called. No answer. He blinked, and the figure was gone. Just shadows. He laughed it off, told himself it was his brain messing with him, but he couldn't shake the chill crawling up his spine. One Friday night, bored and itching for something to do, Ethan grabbed a flashlight and dared himself. "I'm counting these stairs in the dark. Prove there's nothing weird." He stood at the bottom, smirked, and started. 1, 2, 3. His sneakers thudded against the wood. 10, 11, 12, 13, and then his foot hit another step. 14. He froze mid-breath. The air was ice. Something cold brushed his ankle, like fingers curling around him. He whipped the flashlight down, but the beam caught nothing. When he flipped on the hallway light, the staircase was back to 13 steps. Normal, perfectly normal. He laughed too loud, like it was a joke, but inside, his stomach twisted. From that night on, everything got worse. Whispers started. Soft, low voices that seemed to come from the walls. Ethan would climb the stairs at night and hear his name, faint and stretched out. Ethan. His friends came over once and swore they heard it too. He saw someone standing at the top landing more than once, pale, still, waiting. But every time he blinked, it vanished. He tried counting again, couldn't stop himself. And every time the number was wrong, something happened. Some nights there were 12 steps, some nights 15. Once, he swore he counted 11 before tripping and nearly cracking his head open. The nights with the wrong count were the worst. He woke with scratches on his arms, red and angry, like something clawed him while he slept. His locked bedroom door was found wide open one morning. Another time, muddy footprints trailed from the bottom of the stairs to his bed. Nobody in the house owned shoes that size. His parents thought he was pulling pranks, but Ethan knew better. He started digging into the house's history, old town records, newspaper clippings. That's when he found it. Back in the 70s, the Petersons lived here. Nice family. A young son, maybe 8 years old. One night, the boy fell down the stairs. The paper said it was an accident. Broken neck. Tragic. But neighbors whispered something else. They said the boy had been counting the steps before it happened. They said When he reached the top, there was another step that shouldn't have been there. And when he stepped on it, the stairs didn't let him go. That wasn't the only case. Ethan found whispers of other families too. A woman who vanished after complaining the steps kept changing. A visitor who ran screaming out of the house and never came back. Everyone had a different version, but the pattern was the same. When you counted, when the number was off, the stairs took something from you. The final night hit like a freight train. A storm rolled in, thunder shaking the windows, rain hammering the roof. Ethan sat in his room, headphones in, trying to drown it out. But through the thunder, he heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, back and forth, up and down the staircase, over and over. He ripped his headphones off. The sound was still there. Against every instinct, he crept into the hallway. The air was freezing, his breath fogging in front of him. Each step closer to the staircase felt like walking into a freezer. The shadows on the walls stretched, bent, moved like they were alive. He reached the bottom, flashlight in hand, heart pounding. He knew he shouldn't, but he couldn't stop himself. He started counting. 1, 2, 3. Each step groaned under his weight. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. His chest tightened. He didn't want to look down, but he did. Another step waited in the dark. 16. He lifted his foot, trembling, and the second he touched it, a hand shot out. White, bony fingers clamped around his ankle, ice cold, yanking hard. He screamed, clawing at the banister, but it didn't matter. He was pulled down into the dark beneath the staircase. The flashlight clattered against the wood, flickering before it went out. His scream echoed once, then silence swallowed the house. The storm passed by morning. The house was calm, quiet, ordinary. The staircase stood with its 13 perfect steps like nothing had happened. Ethan's parents woke confused. His bed was empty. His phone was still charging on the nightstand. His shoes were still by the door. But Ethan? He was gone. Weeks later, a new family moved in. They painted the walls, brought in bright furniture, tried to make the place warm and homey. The youngest daughter, maybe 6 years old, wandered through the halls with wide eyes. On their first night, she stood at the bottom of the staircase and began to count. Her voice echoed, soft but clear. 1, 2, 3. Her dad chuckled, listening from the kitchen. 10, 11, 12, 13. She frowned. Daddy, she called, why do we have 14 steps at night? Her father frowned. Honey, what are you talking about? There's only 13. The little girl turned back, pale and serious. Not when it's dark. At night, there's more. The house fell silent, and the stairs waited.